Hey Blue Rockers, Connie Willis here. Welcome to Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis, and it's Crypto Connie. And I think we can actually stay on the BITSHARES now because that kind of plays a role in today's show. So let me tell you about that. We're going to be talking with Jonathon Baha'i. He's the founder of EXEBLOCks, EXEBLOck, and you can find that at exeblock.com. And he's got over 20 years of experience in the server hosting and telecommunications industry. Now that's a lot because this guy's young. Wait till you see him. And as an entrepreneur, Jonathon is also, which is why I've got him on, he's identifying future trends in technology, and he's formed technology-based companies designed to solve business data needs. But he's also into the gaming world, and I just absolutely love it. So he's got a lot of neat things going on and other areas that I have no clue about. So we're going to learn about Jonathon together. Here he is. Jonathon, welcome to the show. Welcome to Blue Rock Talk. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's good to finally meet you. I heard so much from you because the godfather of BITSHARES, Stan Larimer, is who introduced me to you and said, Connie, you got to talk to Jonathon. He's a great guy. He claims you're in some sort of bunker, though, and, you know, all my prep people out there got to watch for you. So what is that all about? Are you in a hole in a basement somewhere?
No, this is actually, I'm inside of a 64,000 square foot nuclear bunker. Back in the 1960s, our Prime Minister in Canada, John Diefenbaker at the time, decided because of the Cold War, in order to protect the Canadian government, he built a series of bunkers all across the country. And so in that process, they continued to operate them throughout the years. They got decommissioned back in the 90s. And the bunker for the Atlantic region is the very one we're in right now. All the other bunkers across the country generally have been destroyed. There is one more at the headquarters bunker, which was by Ottawa. And that today is actually a museum. But here, we've turned much of the bunker into office space, and we've actually brought it up to spec so that it's operational today.
I love that. And with Blue Rock Talk, people, I got a lot of preppers out there that are watching this type of show. And by the way, they're Blue Rockers. You have also subscribed to Blue Rock, so now you're a Blue Rocker. And just so you'll know, this is our greeting. So
our greeting.
It's not Vulcan, it's this, right? Yeah.
Got it.
You got it. All right. A man that can do it. Thank you, God. A true Blue Rocker. Well, why I wanted to talk with you is, besides Stan passing me over to you and saying, Connie, you got to talk to this guy. I checked out your stuff, and you have some really great things. So I appreciate that you're going to talk with us today. Tell me about EXEBLOCK first.
Yeah, so EXEBLOCK's really exciting. We established it early this year. We are a publicly traded company now on the Canadian Stock Exchange. The ticker is XBLK. This company was designed so that we'd actually incubate decentralized applications and blockchains. And the technology that we use is actually the same technology that BITSHARES is based on. That's called a consensus mechanism of delegated proof of stake, DPoS for short. So if you've been following some of the other videos that Connie has, you probably know a little bit about this now, but hopefully. But that technology really is basically the foundation of a lot of the blockchain technologies that we're working on because of its scalability capabilities. Other types of blockchains out there really can't handle the capacity to go mainstream. So as far as being able to create usable products out of blockchain that the mass audiences are going to enjoy, it made sense to really focus in that versus some of the more popular ones that are in the industry right now that most people know about. So as the company goes, we've got developers that are experts in DPoS blockchains, and we are working on applications now. We are actually working on a decentralized application which is called 50/50. So it's basically a 50/50 dApp that is going to be launched on the PEERPLAYS blockchain, and that will allow for someone to be able to run a 50/50 draw on the blockchain. So that will allow for, takes away a lot of the auditing issues, having people having to deal with the money and the tickets and all the administrative burdens of it. And on top of that, it allows people to actually have a global reach in terms of doing their draws. So for charities and good causes and nonprofits that use 50/50s very, very often, they're now going to be able to raise more money than they've ever been able to do before. So it's a very exciting application of how blockchain can do more good in the world and, of course, be able to eliminate corruption.
Yeah, so as you were saying, because as I'm hearing you, it all sounds really good. A lot of it's going ching, ching, ching. No, that's good because I can ask you.
Sure.
But yeah, who is your audience? You said people that are charities and fundraiser kind of people. Who's the audience for that? And if maybe you can give me an example and kind of tell me how that goes through. That way it'll go right into some layman's terms for me. So let's say maybe, and I don't know, maybe this is even way too wrong, but like the Ronald McDonald House or somebody could use you, or Cancer Society would use this. Can you tell me in that example?
That's ironic you mentioned the Cancer Society, because I actually mention that example when I tell people about this.
Excellent.
Cancer Society, Ronald McDonald House, big charity organizations, they could certainly use this. But the great thing about it, because it is the blockchain, it's possible for your local football league,
fire station or something.
Yeah, the fire station, okay. Kids leagues. They're all running 50/50s to raise money for various good causes, and this application is a white label type of application that allows anyone to access it. And so with that, it allows for all sizes of organizations that who are using it legitimately to be able to access this and be able to use it for being able to raise funds in a way that's never been done before.
So I say, Jonathan, look, I need to raise some money for the Little League. And I was told I could do something with you. Run me through that. What do I do?
So it's in early stages right now. We haven't even released this publicly yet.
Okay. Cool.
But once it comes out, essentially the process would be you'd simply be able to download the DApp to your smartphone.
The DApp. The app.
Yeah.
Oh, the app.
Yeah.
Okay. The app.
Yeah, we say DApp because it's decentralized. It's a decentralized application, right?
Okay, so you don't have a speech impediment. I don't have. Yeah. Okay, I was like, do I overlook that, or did he say something?
No, it's good for your audience to know too. So that's good.
Yeah,
so you download the DApp to your phone. There'll be an option for being able to create draws, and so with that, you would input what the draw is about, who you are, information on what it's for.
So the draw would be the Little League money raiser.
Right, and then you can set the parameters for how many tickets you want to sell, how you want it to settle in the end, whether it's going to be based on a certain time period or if it's going to be based on the tickets being all sold out. And then you can you click submit, and essentially it then creates the draw on the blockchain, and then you have a link to be able to send out to whoever you want to be able to join in the draw to be able to participate in it. Anybody it would be one of many other draws that are on the blockchain. So if anyone comes across it, they could also participate if they like the cause.
Oh, so you go on a list of other draws, and when you say draws, it's basically where you can buy a ticket for $10 and you have a chance to win something kind of thing? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, well, with the 50/50 draw, the winning is basically that however many tickets they sold, 50% of whatever it is will be going to the winner, and 50% will go to the good cause that put on the draw. So it's a fun way for good causes to be able to raise money, and it's exciting for the people who play because the odds of them winning are much, much better. And it's a tendency that people play these just because they like being able to have fun and then being able to give to something that they know is good, and they know where the money is going. So
absolutely, I like that. But how do you get paid on that?
So on the blockchain, what will happen is that there is a percentage of all the transactions that are taking place that will go back to the blockchain. So in that instance, because the PEERPLAYS blockchain is a little different from BITSHARES, PEERPLAYS is actually designed to be able to share revenues with the people who hold PPY tokens. So what that means is that, say if there was like $1,000 worth of transactions that were taking place, then out of that, say maybe anywhere from 5 to 2% of that then goes back to the blockchain, and then it gets distributed to all the holders. So it's like a cooperative.
Oh, okay.
And so with that, that's where the profitability comes in for everybody who is involved in the blockchain.
I see. That's excellent. Okay, and so they're using your tokens, the PPY tokens.
They can use the PPY tokens. However, there's work being done on the PeerPlays blockchain to be able to accept Bitcoin as well. So besides Bitcoin, there'll be other tokens that'll be introduced to the PeerPlays blockchain. It's been designed so that it'll be able to host multiple types of tokens so that people who want to come and be able to use the game for whatever tokens that they prefer, they could actually use it. It all depends on, of course, the holders of PeerPlays in terms of the demand and so forth. So it's not like some random coin that nobody knows is going to suddenly be there and available. So,
the Connie coin. What? What are you talking about? It'll be big one day. I'm telling you. Yeah, because I'm really into the BitShares thing right now, and EOS and STEEM. That's where I've been learning everything that way. So, but even if you don't take something at that point, you can just exchange it for whatever, right? I mean, it's as easy as that. Correct?
Yeah, especially on BitShares. Yes.
Yeah, and that's neat. Yeah, the reason I am so in love with BitShares is it can take the load, and so many transactions are so fast. So obviously you agree with that too, and you've jumped on board with that. So that's EXEBLOCks. That's excellent. So when do we expect to see this?
So we just released our white paper this week. With that, within this month, we're going to be looking at launching the testnet for the 50/50 dApp. And what that means is that that's going to give everybody an opportunity to actually look at it and use it. And the development process at that point is that we're going to contact various charities and whatnot to have them look at this and tell us, how do you like this? What is it that you see that you like? What else does this need? And get them involved. And then at that stage, we then take that all in, we make some improvements, and then in the course of about a month and a half, we then look at releasing the code publicly, and that allows for the witnesses of the PeerPlays blockchain to be able to actually download the application and test it out for themselves. So at that stage, it'll be up to the witnesses to decide whether it's going to make it into the PeerPlays blockchain or not. It's really not up to us to say, on this day at this time, it's going to be in the blockchain, because this is decentralized, right? So it'll be up to the witnesses. It'll be up to them gauging the feeling from the PPY token holders, because ultimately they're voted in doing their bidding. So if the witnesses see that there is a demand for this and they see that the code is good and everybody's happy, then what will happen is, and we're hoping that by about Q1 or so of next year, then they're going to actually do what's called a protocol update of the PeerPlays blockchain, and that will introduce the code for the 50/50 dApp at that point. So sometime around Q1, Q2, we expect it to be within the PeerPlays blockchain at that stage. But again, it's decentralized, so it's going to be up to the public to decide.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. When they're unmanned, right? Don't witnesses kind of get in the way, or holders also kind of get in the way? Isn't there a problem with that? Where, is that also under mining? Where I know BitShares has said no more mining. Is witnesses and shareholders under that? Is that where somebody can get involved and might have a bad, evil witness out there that you got to get rid of, kind of thing?
So witnesses are not miners, right? They're elected block generators. So what they do is that all the blocks that are created in the blockchain are created with these node operators that are called witnesses, and so they're elected by the PPY token holders to do that job and to make sure that the network runs. So when there are code updates and whatnot, they're the ones that are responsible for that.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So there has to be a consensus amongst all the witnesses when this update is done. Otherwise, it just never takes hold. And the great thing about that is that, traditionally, in a traditional business sense, you'll be like, well, I got to have control of all that so that I can make sure this gets done the way I want it to get done. That's wrong.
Right.
That's the way old business was done, right?
Yes.
Where we had products shoved down our throats.
Yes.
So,
yes.
The beauty of blockchain is that it's caused us to be able to have an opportunity to have products which are built peer-to-peer, and our build methodology with EXEBLOCK is that we've built what we believe are all the features for a 50/50 dApp that makes sense. But when we release it, we're getting feedback from the very people who want to use this product and be able to actually input to it and actually make it their own, right? And then once it's actually on the blockchain, it's no longer ours. It belongs to everybody. So if there is some kind of like widget or doohickey that somebody wants to see somewhere, then there's a consensus system to be able to implement that. And we really have no say over it. And guess what? It doesn't matter, because it means that that's what the users want. That's what the people who are using it actually want, right? Rather than a company telling you what you want, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's a totally different way of thinking. It's a different methodology. It's really exciting that we've been able to actually create a publicly traded company that is really championing this whole new way of doing business and a whole new way of what blockchain can present at the application level. Because a lot of us already know Bitcoin. We already know that it's a currency that can be used and that transacting one another in this value. But with ExeBlock and what we're doing with dApps, we're bringing that to the application layer, where it's not just about transacting value of currency, but the value of being able to trust the applications we're using, right? So using the 50/50 dApp, you never have to worry that, oh, there goes Aunt Marge winning the 50/50 again, You don't have to worry about this like manipulation. You know that it's decentralized. You know that nobody is going to be able to mess around with the pot. So there's all these benefits to just eliminating corruption, and that's what's exciting about it. And so it just makes a whole lot of sense. And I think that a lot of people, once they see that there's a better way, they're going to want to go the better way. So.
And I love it. I absolutely love it, because you just can't trust Aunt Marge, man. You just don't know what Aunt's up to, what she's got going on with those cookies she's serving everybody. You just don't know what's going on, right? So, Aunt Marge, we all have one. We all know one. This is Jonathon Baha'i, everybody. And thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you for giving us your time. And we're going to be talking to you again about some other things. It's our series, everybody, here on Crypto Connie. And we're going to put this under BitShares now, because there's a little BitShares thing going on with this. And so we got more with Jonathon. Everybody, take a look at the links below, and you can find out a little bit more about Jonathon. In fact, Jonathon, where else can people find you if they'd like to get a hold of you or your company and your ideas and your thoughts?
Yeah, so if you're looking for information on ExeBlock, you can check out exeblock.com, EXEBlock.com. Also very active on Twitter at EXEBlock. I'm also myself personally active on Twitter. You can find me Jonathon.Baha'i. You can find me on LinkedIn. Again, if you just search my name. I just happen to be the only Jonathon Baha'i in the entire world, so don't worry if there will be no duplicates whatsoever. So, yeah.
I'm going to name my first child after him now, just because of that.
Oh, no.
Somebody's going to do that. Watch out. He's going to ruin it for you. Jonathon, thank you again, once again. Bluerockers, Crypto Connie here, saying thanks for joining us. Check the links below for more on Jonathon and more with Crypto Connie here on Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. You want to try it, Jonathon?
Thank you.
I love it.